in case.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
Sorry.
Let's see. Let me see. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
And we're live.
Okay, we're live. Yay!
We're live.
We are alive.
Yeah, we're live.
In the land of the living. So
Yeah.
I am going to share screen so you can remember the
The disclaimer.
The disclaimer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do the
You should know it by
disclaimer.
heart by now, right?
I know, but we don't do it. That's not what I want to
Oh.
share.
Oh,
That's not what I want to share.
I
I'm
did
sorry.
that.
I want to share about that, but it's not that. So that's not first. Okay, so we start with the
disclaimer?
yeah, there we go. The disclaimer. Yes, we do disclaimer. Okay.
It's not a disclaimer here, it's the tooth.
It's still the tooth chart.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So go back because that was what was showing before. Okay. So there is a disclaimer. Is a disclaimer now?
Yes.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we are here to talk about Healy. We're so excited, but in order for us to do that, we want to be in alignment with the organization's disclaimer, which says that Healy is a microcurrent medical device that has been cleared by U.S. Food and Drug Administration only for local relief of acute, chronic, and arthritis pain and muscle soreness due to overexertion. Healy also has non-medical applications that use individualized microcurrent frequency, IMF for short, to harmonize your bioenergetic field. Always use your Healy in accordance with its instructions for use. All right. So we're gonna stop for now. Yeah. So you were saying something, Julie. Yes, go ahead. So just wanted to make sure that we have said gone through the disclaimer,
Yes.
before we start sharing that.
What was I saying?
You were talking about the guy who did something on YouTube about
yes, a few weeks ago, there was on WhatsApp Wednesday, there was a chap called Chad. I've got my book, I don't know where it is at the moment. Oh, it's on the floor, my cat's on my lap. But anyhow, he spoke about the different programs in that under the defense program, and he wrote, he spoke great length and gave real clarity of the benefit of each of them. But what I did like was that he said that he wrote things down. He's got so many books, so he could compare frequencies, and he worked out that some frequencies on some of the programs were in other things. But I'd have to look at it to be clear. But I can't get to the book at the moment. But I would encourage anyone to go back on those recordings. And
I did one of the things one of the ones you posted on our group.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
post
good.
that.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, I know this will be recorded, but if anybody wants to, yes, it's in our group. Yeah.
Okay, good, wonderful. Yeah. So
you said you were in the doctor's office for 4 hours. What was that about?
You were in the doctor's.
I was at the doctor for 4 hours. So what day was that?
It was Wednesday. We were going to
Oh
Zoom.
my word. Yes.
Oh dear.
I had scheduled an appointment. They gave me an appointment. So I was like, okay. I mean, I can finish that and be able to, because I thought if you have an appointment, you
You
can.
going in about that time.
Thank you. And they usually, how the doctor, they don't spend much time with you anymore. Like, okay, okay. They don't
See
do
you
much.
in 2 minutes. Yeah, go about your business. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, by the time I waited, and the funniest thing is that I had parked my car on the street, and it was a 2-hour parking. And it's like, oh, plenty. I paid for the 2 hour. And by the time they called me, the 2 hour, it was like
Oh.
5 minutes to the 2 hour. So when they called me, I went in. I said, well, you know what? I don't want to get a ticket. Is there something I can do? They said, oh no, because you could have parked in a parking lot and just paid for the whole day, because you go to the parking lot, you pay for the whole day. But I said there was just something on the side of the road. And I mean, there was a parking space. I just paid with my card, and it only takes 2 hours. Okay. That's the maximum it takes for a time.
Mm.
And then, so I had to go back to go pay. I didn't want to start driving, go looking for another place to park, or go looking for so now I'll go pay for another 2 hours and then go back. And yeah, it was interesting.
So that was that last week or the week before?
That was last week.
Oh, last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last week. Yes. That was last week. Is that last week or 2 weeks ago? Which one? I don't know.
I don't know.
You said you said you were on the road with an assignment or something.
Oh, no. Okay, that was the doctor one was 2 weeks ago. This one I was on assignment. You just know I'm a chaplain. I'm a volunteer. I'm a trained chaplain, but I'm a volunteer with LAPD. So when there's a call, like something is happening, there was accident, and it was a fatal accident. So so when they call.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So anything else for me kind of stops there, because I just go for that particular assignment.
Right.
Yeah.
With you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened. That was yes. I was on the road for that day. That was last Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
But you're okay. The doctor just took forever to see you.
Yeah. It's okay. Oh no! Listen, I started to go to home up. It's my first time to go there, so it wasn't like my normal doctor. So I'm starting now to kind of practice some of the things that to hear from Healy, and because sometimes many of them are sharing that they've been in their homeopathic doctors. So I made one, because I was gonna go to Dr. Doc Steve. Doc Steve is also, he's in Santa Monica.
Oh, is he really?
Yes. So when I talked to him, he's like, "Oh, I'm in Santa Monica, so you can, But the conversation wasn't. Yeah, let me leave it right there. Okay. So when I saw this lady, I was more comfortable. Talking with this lady. She actually came. She wanted to use our church to start doing some training for the community, giving them awareness of these things. So that's how I got with her. So that was my first time to be with this to be with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In Santa Monica.
In Santa Monica, yes. I know Santa Monica, they give you, well, oh my God, they give really bad tickets. They give you expensive tickets. So yeah, if you park on Santa Monica Boulevard or Broadway and all those Wilshire, any of those, you watch out. So yeah. So anyway, that's what happened. That was the previous week. Yeah.
Well, because I have a friend who she's actually the one that got me going with the Healy, but she has a lot of serious issues that I think she needs to have a homeopathic
doctor
person to help her know what to do to get better. But I know that I know there's some online too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see a physical person, so I was there, and
Yeah.
she did all this, and she did different testing, and yeah,
And did
it
she give you
is.
a
She
prescription?
gave me, yeah, she gave me, I forgot the name. She gave me something, and you can't touch it. It's so tiny. You can't touch it with your finger. So there's a little stuff where you put it, and then you put it in the water and drink. Anyway, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know because she said, so I'm going to go back next week, Wednesday, and hopefully the time I scheduled, it's going to be a fast. If not, I'm going to call and find out if it's going to take that long again. If it's going to take that long again, so I will see if I can do early in the morning. I will just drive to the church early. Again, I don't want to be there that late. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's a long time, isn't it?
Yes,
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a long.
And guess what? It took me 4 hours to come back. So it took because of so by the time we finished, it was like 1 30 or 1 something by the time we finished. So by the time so it was a heavy traffic to come from Santa Monica to come back home. I didn't want to go back to work because I worked that week, and then I was at the office early before I went to her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home. But it took me 4 hours to come back. So it's like, you know what? I don't want to do it. Maybe next time I would just go straight back. So I want to know if it takes that long that I can't get back to the office and get in, what I need to do. Then I make another arrangement. But
Do you have
huh?
No, I was going to ask you, do you have a facility, if need be, to stay overnight at the office?
Oh, I do, but my husband doesn't like that.
Well,
I do stay in the office, especially if I have a program the next morning. I will stay in my office. So, yeah, I have a restroom in my office. I don't have a shower, but you will laugh. What I do is that I boil water. I get water because right now I don't know what happens, so we don't have a hot water. And they say we have to change some electrical stuff. So it's like, okay, we're gonna do it, but just not now because the water. So I just warm water, and I take a shower. I take a bath outside, but like we have outside, we have the backyard, and then we have the front here. So I just always able to take a shower while I'm there. So which is very good. So yeah. So that's really it's good for me, except that my body hurt because I used to have when Dr. O was gone, when was gone for that year, 2020, the leaders, they just bought me a bed, that one you pump. So those the bed that you pump, like a mattress like that.
Yeah.
So I was using it. It was really good, but I don't know what happened. There was a puncture on it or something. So it just it doesn't matter what you do now. And I don't want to. Yeah. So that's something I have to do in order to really feel comfortable. Like we work out feeling comfortable. This time I slept there last 2 weeks ago. I slept there, no, 3 weeks ago. I put things on the floor, and then I woke up. My whole body was like, longer as spring chicken.
You have what I've realized. Years ago, I would camp out on. It was easy to just go on the floor, but you need as much under you as you do on top. You know what I mean? As much because the cold. And once I slept on the floor, and it was on an air mattress, I think. But even so, I was, because it's cold in England anyway. It can be, and I thought, oh no, that's no good at all.
Yeah, it hurts. My neck hurts. My shoulder hurts. So I said before I go there, and I have to buy, maybe I'll buy a smaller, because the other one they bought was just so huge, just like a queen size, those air bed. But it was good, it's good to just right now I have to get something else.
And they're improving all the time. Where years ago you'd have to pump it up and that. Now there's probably ones that will, You press a button and it
Sometimes,
inflates,
yeah.
No, yes.
it inflates by itself, kind of thing.
Ah, why
All
should
right.
I offer
All
you my guest room, Mama? Oh,
And the reason why I had to stay there is that I will walk sometimes, like last time when I stayed, I walked until midnight.
Wow.
And I don't want to get in the car at all.
Oh, no.
right.
Yes. It doesn't
That
matter because
time.
my husband was like, just even, how about even paying for a hotel? I don't want to get in the car. If I walk that late, I just,
No.
I
Yeah.
have, yeah, because I can't even, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
over.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah. So anybody has had any other experience with Healy, any program that have really made a difference in your well-being that you have experimented or have tried
Mm.
since we met? So I've been running my I didn't say we should do this, but I'm running my phone died.
I'm
Sorry.
running memory at the moment, but
Okay, let me charge my phone. Oh my goodness. My phone was.
I mean, I'm trying to use the leads more than I used to. And I know
Okay.
the chord is good, but when I heard one of I forget who it was that was speaking, it could have been Doc Steve.
Mhm.
Anyway, encouraging, to run it with the leads majority. Well,
Which one is the leads? What do you mean with the leads?
Like the
with the,
risk.
Oh, like what would they? Yeah,
Yeah.
they always say, regardless whether you run with the coil and vibrate, they say at least twice a week. Make sure
Yes.
you do this.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
like
So
when I'm doing my so I like to start doing like I do vibrate for, like my liver because I was on the road in the past 3 weeks. I
Yes.
was so much on the road, so I do a lot of
Yeah.
vibration because some maneuvering, driving sometimes kind of difficult unless it's too hot to wear long sleeve. When we wear long sleeve, it's easier to go just
Yeah.
kind of pass through things.
Yeah. then they go in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but no.
Yes.
So when I'm on the road, I like to use a coil, just to use
Yeah.
a coil to do the
Yes.
dot. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
this always said it's so critical. And you know who Ken? I know Ken. He's like mostly all he does is this. So he's
Yes.
a believer, just strong believer in
Yes. I
that.
got that from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I ran liver, and I need to really do that because it flagged up quite a lot on the blue dot liver, and it was a bit scary because another time it was flagging on the either digital nutrition, I think it was. It was saying brain. I thought, oh my goodness, brain is coming up, brain.
But you need
my brain. Okay.
Brain, but some of them were really high readings, and so I'm just looking up now what I've done, but I need to do it consistently. I could do with improving on running things a little bit more often. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I might run liver twice, but I could do with more. There's so many programs I need to run.
Mhm.
And there's only a limit to how many, because although I would say generally I'm quite well, there are some things that I think I need a good I need to detoxify a really, really good one, and
I know that, like, yes, that's so awesome. For me, it's like my liver and my kidney, which is something that they, have kind of followed me for a long time. That I've dropped and dropped. I keep on dropping it every time. But like I will look. Okay, so I will run like Healy, like like a day or two consecutively. I will run, and then like a couple of like 2 or 3 days I won't run. But whenever I go back, those two would have gone up. So every time I'm gonna go back, it has gone up. So but in the days that I do, that the next day doesn't. Whenever I give those space, like 2 or 3 days or 4,
Yeah.
it goes back up.
Right.
So what I have, coming to understand is like, like how the body is related to, a different organ is related to your teeth. For many years, I've had problem with my teeth and my gum, and just so much. So anyway, today I said, since we have a few time, my phone died. I wanted us to remember last time. First of all, we talked about the lungs, and we talked about as it's a divine. We talked about it as a divine breath, and then especially I think we talked about it. Also talked about the time. So I think the last time when we actually talked on the lungs was 15 months ago.
Yeah.
Months ago, but I really wanted to continue a little bit on, I can't say finish, but I just do a little bit more today on that, because I think it was good for us to just at least follow one thing and kind of get an idea of how we can assist in that area. Then when we go to another organ, that's, like 12 different major organs that, we're just dealing with one for now. So the summary that I can remember last time we talked about that, we said that all the organs, if you guess it, all the organs, all the internal organs have a biological clock. We talked about that. You remember that?
Yeah.
And that clock is not controlled by when we wake up, or what I'm saying, it's not based on our waking time, or so it just has its own. That's just the clock of the body. I say each organ has its own rhythms, like its movement, and it's a 2-hour interval. Okay, she's like a 2-hour intervals of movement of 24 hours, as period. In a given 24-hour period, 2 hours. Okay, so we talked about that, and we also talked about how there's high performance a period, and there is a low performance period of each organ, which is called the rest period. The low part is called the rest period. For me, I call it the Sabbath.
Yeah.
I call it organ. Huh?
Would you spell that word? Because I'm writing it down. What was
Which
that
one?
word? You said you call it the Sabbath, but you said rest something. It's
a rest period, like the rest time.
Period.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the period when they rest.
Word,
so the time of activity, high activity, and then there's a time is low activity. It's not that they don't function during there's no time any of the organs don't function. It's just that it's not the high end,
Right.
So they call in medical people, they call it the low, low time. Or they call it the rest time. And I call it the Sabbath. Because that's when they rest.
That. Yeah.
Organ Sabbath time, that's what I call it. And I remember, just thinking about how in everything, how God put Sabbath in it. And that's just, and you guys probably already did a lot of teaching, a lot of teaching on Sabbath, but it just warms my heart. So we also talked about how each organ is connected to a tooth in the body, in the face or in your mouth, okay? And then we talked about the first organ that actually begins the process. And we talked about it as being the lungs.
Yeah.
And then no wonder, because it's the first thing, is the earthy thing. There's the first thing, Bible said that God breathed and man became a living soul. So it's the organ, the waking organ. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the medical people call it. I'm just saying awakening an organ. Awakening an organ. That's awakening everybody, everything that's to start doing what they need to do. So, and then I think we said that the lungs is what the major, just like the key function of the lungs is what is to take in oxygen. They take in oxygen. Taking oxygen, then of course, and then let go of carbon dioxide, huh? Okay, so we carbon dioxide. So we got that. That's just a summary of because it's been a long time. We talked about that long, but I know I told you because I want to continue so that we can just I want us to have a really strong hold of that body, that organ. Okay. So so we're talking about letting go. So I'm just gonna follow up like, it takes in, but also let go. It takes in like we breathe and we in and we breathe out. So taking in and letting go is such a function of the lungs. So knowing when to take in and knowing when to let go, knowing when to say, okay, even like, okay, I had this problem. You guys will laugh, but maybe you guys will have been where I couldn't say no. It's like this person, like I said, no, yes. Like if I say no, I'm going to offend somebody, but I would take this on and I walk and I'll be, oh my God, I'll be working so hard and doing this and this. So I'm taking in and taking in and taking in. So anyway, knowing when to take in and when to, let things go.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing revelation.
Yeah. It is so critical. So there are people who they would take in, like I told you about myself before. It's like if somebody come and request, like, okay, yes. I was like a yes, woman. I take it. So some people they take it. And for me, it was like, I don't want to offend somebody. I'd rather that I would probably die in doing whatever they ask me to do than saying no.
Yeah, that's a good codependent for you. That's a good codependent, yeah.
Yeah, so that was before my training of where I am now. You know what I'm saying? That was before my, I get it.
Yeah, but, I've been there too.
Okay, so there are people again, like they take in, they have challenges of letting go, letting go, like people we take in things and then they just have a difficulty on letting that thing go. You see, even on the material things, okay, you see people who it's like they gather things and they gather things.
Yeah.
Son, oh my God, I know a lady in when I was in Illinois, she had this beautiful home, but you couldn't get in from the doorway. You just to open. She has like newspapers, like I'm going to say 1,000 years of newspaper, but the newspaper pile. These different kinds of newspaper. So you come in the house, you're gonna bend this way and bend this way to be able to get in. And there was cats everywhere, and she'll be looking for her cat, and one of the cats be hiding somewhere, but she'll be good at because she couldn't find. There was just so many things, just everywhere. The kitchen, everything was filled. So, and then I remember when we came to this church, and the church I'm pastoring now, I noticed that the former secretary had the same issue. For you to open the door, my office now, to open to come in, it's like you open and the door just kind of start this way because there's a pile of paper here, a pile of things there, a pile of whatever. I mean, she probably thought that she needed all those things. And then even to walk to the pastor's office was filled with spiders, and spider were because of all the stuff. Yeah. That's what I faced when I was there. And we call those people hoarders. What do we call them? Hoarders?
Hoarders, yeah.
Hoarders, yes.
Yeah, you know something, Mamo, there's a program in UK that they do the whole series on hoarders. And then they get these people to come in and help them.
Clean up,
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty dire, some of them. Really, really, really bad. Really bad.
So, but those are things, like hoarders, they have these things, but also because anything you do actually has its own like supernatural or spiritual or emotional attached to it.
Yes.
And then people who just focus on emotion, like, they can't let go of the hurt. Somebody hurt them, like, I would say gazillion years ago, because I like the word gazillion. But people who hurt them like 20 years ago, they won't let it go. And there are people who don't even talk to one another for 20 or something years because they couldn't let go of what, somebody said, the pain, how it hurts. And actually they relieve it when they think about the person. They relieve that experience, okay? And so the experience of the past, they can't let it go. They can't let it go. So people who are unable to let go, they have difficulty connecting with people, or relating, even relationship. To have to really have a deep relationship is a major trouble. Okay, they have difficult being in relationship. I know somebody maybe looking for partners, or just even having an open, being open to other people. Okay, so people who are unable to go or let go, their creativity, not that they're not creative, but their creativity is also shriveled in some ways or limited. They can even see them being creative, but they can even be greater. Okay, but because they're holding on all those things, so it's kind of difficult for them to really, maximize their creativity. Okay, so and then they're also quick, as is these people who can't let go. It's also easier for them to get depressed because there's just so much. They, got to that overwhelmness, it's not just, we all get overwhelmed sometimes because of all the stuff we're doing, all the demands of life. But, there's people who get to the place where, it becomes a depression, it becomes anxiety, and they're not able to move forward in life because, it's just too much they've taken in. Okay. So, and these people, so they also, sometimes they will lack focus. Okay. So remember, we're talking about lungs. And then they are, easily irritated. Okay. They're easily irritated or offended, and there's such, so these are the imbalance. Okay. Imbalance or deficiency in lungs chi or lungs energy. Okay, the ancient Chinese people would call it chi, so which is also the energy. So anyone that's experiencing those kind of things, so that there's a weakness in somewhere, when as it has to do with the lungs. So the lung energy and the lung chi is a bit weak in that area. But the nature, our natural world, all the things that God created, that is created, actually has a way of taking in and also letting go. Just think about it. Okay, so when a child is born, the child is sucking milk, like mama's milk or whatever milk that they decide to give to the child. But as soon as the child begins to taste solid food, before you know it, that milk, mama's milk is, they let go. Okay, they let go. And then you see, and then someone, like adolescents or people, when they get to puberty, and you see them literally leave or let go of the childhood or the child way of doing things. Or when we become an adult, of course, that is if there's no deficiency. We're talking about on the norm. On the norm, whatever the norm is. Yeah. If there's not, so when you become an adult, you let go of the way you talk as a child, the way you do things as a child. So so of course we also let go when people transition, they transition into another realm of existence, like people pass away, which is also kind of a sad time, but it's also a time of letting go. Okay, so that is already imbued in creation. All right. So because of all these things, so the emotion that is attached to lungs, emotions of grief. Okay, so it's emotion like your sorrow, so people that have mournful way of being, they just see people that are like it kind of looks sad, or just feel just it's sad, in some ways, and that's a lack of or weakness in their lung chi or their lungs energy. Okay, so also so lungs regulate our hunger. Okay, so when we go to kidney, we talk about kidney because kidney regulates, thirst, but lungs regulates hunger. And it shows up into like different people. Like sometimes when people if they are depressed, they lose appetite. You guys notice that. And there's some people who, when they're in that place, they're like they just eat, but there's no stopping. They don't know how to, really stop themselves. They just eat, and it's like it's going into a hollow place. So I don't know if you've seen people like that that we go again like so many pounds when they go through depression or sadness or those things. Okay, so and last time also I talked about the teeth, how each organ is connected to each part of the teeth in the body. I mean in our teeth. Our teeth. I say connected to our teeth in our teeth. And I think it's funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so lungs is connected to the number 14 and 15 of your right side.
And
14. So
and
now we're
number
going to. So yes. So that's on your right hand side. Okay. But it's connected to 24 and 25 on the left.
Okay, so
upper. We're talking about the upper.
They told me it was number 30 was connected to the lungs.
Okay. Well,
is it based on the one that you sent out, Julie?
Yeah, well, I just searched on the internet. It might, I can't verify that it's
accurate. Mom, the one that you have, can we get a copy of that?
Yes, I could see if I can make a copy. That's I think from my when I went to my doctor. So I didn't take a picture, but I can see if I can get that.
Yeah.
So so anyway, so that's the upper. It is the upper right and the upper left. Of the states. Okay.
Can I just ask you a question here? Because sometimes, like as a child, I had a few teeth. I had to have a few teeth out because they make room. As a child, sometimes there's too many teeth. I don't know what it is, but anyway, they take them out. So if you haven't got that tooth missing, I wonder if that can affect organs. If you've
the one of the person who was dental talking about is like, every part of the organ has its own the function that it brings in. So remove it, you decrease that. But I know, they say that, it has not been really orthodontists, they take those things, they say, because they're making ways for other teeth. But I haven't really seen something that what I read, they do that, but there's really no proof of saying, oh, it doesn't mean anything or it doesn't support anything, because if it doesn't mean anything, then it wouldn't be there in the first place.
That's right.
But it's like saying the lesser evil. If there's something's happening and then they know that the other one is gonna needed more space, if not, it's gonna be more dangerous. So so that way, and they do that for the kids. So this is a chart that I got that we guys can have. I can, this is just online thing. So anyway, but okay, so stop the sharing. This was the teach stuff. So anyway, I'm not talking. I'm just giving. I'm not really talking on teach, but other than just we talked a little bit all that each organ is connected. So that's why I was sharing with you that. So lungs, okay, so lungs and what do you call it? Adrenal gland. Adrenal gland. They work together. Okay.
Oh.
So adrenal glands are the hormone that helps control our heart. The rhythms or the beating our heart rates, and it enables us to face really daily challenges. Like it helps us dealing with stress, accidents or illness, injury, like relational problems. So if that two, because they work together, so if anything affects the other one, it affects it. Okay. And so it helps us act it helps to act in a certain way, or to react when something, like if something just happened, like you say you have a flight or fight, but it's those adrenal. I was going to call him Adrian. Adrenal gland is the one that helps us to react or act accordingly, or in a suitable way, or in a proper way. Okay, to help us. It's like, it is, it helps us to deal with life, if you want to say that. It just helps us to deal with life in general. Okay, helps us to deal with life. So, yeah. So anyway, the gland is associated with when it's the chakra. So when you go to Healy, we're doing a chakra, and that is that gland is really tied to the root chakra. Okay. And the root chakra.
The adrenal, do you mean?
Adrenal, yes, yeah. So again,
adrenal,
but it's connected. Remember, it's connected with the lungs. So they have the lungs. Remember, lung is the breath. That's a life source. So, and these things, two of them which control the beating and movement of the heart, they're connected, because the awakening, the heartbeat is what wakens you up. I mean, it's the awakening of the not waking us up, but awakening the body clock. Okay, awakening the body clock. So so it has to do with security, has to do with stability. And for those of you, I know that Diane was a teacher, and these guys are Maslow's hierarchy of need, and that one of the basic need is the needs of safety and security. So it's really its need of safety and security is critical for life. Okay, and when there is a lack of, or any imbalance in any of those, being safety or security, it affects a human being, affects people in every way, right? So we say a deficiency in lungs chi, or lungs energy, also affects sleep, because remember that it's the time in function is 3 to 5. Okay, it's 3 to 5. Yeah. That is really where those deep relaxing yummy kind of sleep is happening, and that's when the body, the major time that the body doing the repairing of itself. And so when there is a lack, when there is a deficiency in that lung chi, or lungs energy, there's a sleepless night, there's insomnia, and so which also now generates all that kinds of other sicknesses, of course, that okay. So how we help our lungs, comes back to Healy, because we're talking about Healy, and I just laid this on. So I know one of the frequency that Diane loves a lot is the fine flow. So which is something to run. Of course, you run your meridians, the lungs, and another way to really help our lungs is again, physical exercise is good, but one of the things that when I was reading this is really, really critical is breath exercise.
Yes.
Breath exercise. And we're told that a lot of us do not know how to breathe. And like one time, I think Dr. was teaching us, like, breathe. And people are like, we don't want to breathe. That's Eastern religion. That is a new age. Like, say, breathe. And then it's like, okay, don't breathe.
Exactly. That's funny. Yeah.
Said, okay, don't breathe. Just don't breathe. That was so funny. Yeah, but it's talking about just being intentional and begin to practice breathing properly. I think there's different, other than, us going in meditation and just kind of breathing, that there are different breath exercises that one can find online. And of course, right now, there's practically everything that you want to.
Yeah,
you know.
because
Mhm.
of my asthma and everything, I went to a pulmonary rehab, it was called, and I had to learn all different kind, like pursed lip breathing, and different. I think there was 3 or 4 different ones.
Forms of breathing, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, because depending on what was going on, but to increase your lung capacity, to get the most out of, it's to get more in and get more out.
Yes.
Like you were saying, taking in and letting out. But it was really, I had no idea.
Yeah, all those different breathing, yes. That's really when we're focusing on our lungs, that we want to really be intentional. Like, Healy is about optimization, to help us to build, optimize it. Like they say, oh, we don't heal anything, but here is to, have balance. So to really help boost it up, if you want to use the word, to boost the work that our that organ is doing. That we can run we can still run the run lungs and do the breath what else did I say? Yeah, yes, breath of life and anything like that to help practicing that breathing. And then we talked about last time. I think we talked about drinking warm stuff. Like in the morning time. Take lemon, and I don't know what you were saying, Julie, last time, but I think like even lemon and water, hot lemon and water, just to keep it assisting it, if you may use the word like that. And then we did, remember when we did the programming, when we did what we did, we had we programmed affirmation. This is so critical for our lungs. It's to program our affirmation and let it hear our voice, and running it, and or just even if you didn't program it, to run it like this and just speak. Dr. O had was really for many years, like, write your affirmation, do your affirmation, and almost anyone that comes to him for mentoring, that's one of the things he encourages everybody to do, is to write your affirmation. So even if we do affirmation every Sunday, and I wrote that affirmation. I'm like, oh my God, I feel good that I did. And I went to Nigeria, they have copied it and they're reading it, and of course they add some of their own, and then they go to different places that they did. They say, oh, we copied it, we just add a little bit of our own. I like that's perfect. Begin to just allow yourself to speak to yourself of who you are, as we saw this hearing that voice and of the divine that is within. So so I want to stop there. I don't know, my time, my clock went. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, my phone just came up and it was like 1:48. So it's like I was right on that. Sorry.
Wow, that's amazing. That is
clock is on time.
Yes.
that is so good, because quite honestly, I've had some not very good night's sleep, and so although I'm doing some breathing exercises, but I know I can improve. So because one of them is like you hold it in the long, really get the breath going up, and hold it and let it out very slowly. That was one. I don't know what it's called, but
pursed lip. It's the pursed lip.
Oh, Diane, you have to write down for us all the different. Write it for us, because I don't know the names. I just know that you need to.
The name. Okay, I'll look, because I got that stuff somewhere.
Awesome. Yes, I want to learn those things.
But I don't know why I just don't know why I'm not sleeping. It's really.
Did you run the sleep program too? You did a sleep program?
I do, but I need to be more specific. It's because I'm on some Zooms in the evening, and then I don't know. I need to get a bit better organised, really, and run them. I'm not. I run things, but yeah, I need to get a bit better at that.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, when I swim and I use a snorkel,
okay,
the thing you like, that rhythmic deep breathing for 30 minutes has improved my lungs so much. And so like now that I'm getting back into swimming, I can see like the days that I swim, I sleep so good.
Wow,
that's good.
I did that whole 30 minutes of,
wow.
I mean, I want to start swimming again because so many things shut down during COVID. Yeah. And I was swimming before, not as regularly as I'd like, but I think that would help, and I do go walking in the countryside sometimes.
Oh, that's good.
The canals are beautiful.
By rivers and
river, or mountain, where you get that big. If you're closer to the river, and then they also talked about, if you're like towards the mountain, if you any of those rivers, it's very good to get that fresh breath.
I'm not near mountains. Well, I could go
by the ocean, just say either or. So it's like if you're closer to it, anytime you're able to get
that's just where you can hear the birds and the rustling of the trees.
Yes.
And I always feel wonderful when I've been out.
Yeah.
I really, really do. So, and I am fortunate, though I live in a town. It's quite busy, but I can walk from my house to what they call the valley. It's called the valley. It's got lakes, and it's just lovely. The only thing is you can hear what we call the motorway. I don't know whether you call it the freeway or I don't know. So you can hear that traffic, but other than that, it is very lovely.
Wow.
And
okay, anyone have any questions on our talk? And
that was just wonderful. And it's been recorded, hasn't it? It's been recorded.
Yes. Oh
yeah.
Yes, it's saying it's been recorded. Yes.
I have one quick question.
Okay.
I started to have trouble with the pink dot, constantly just reverting back to the list and not running the programs. And I shut my phone off, and then sometimes that works, but I've had to probably, download the app, delete the app and do the app thing multiple times. Is it something that they're working on, or do I need to put a ticket in because they don't know how widespread it is? Or
I know it happened to me quite often as well, and maybe not as often as it happened to you, but it had happened to me, and I had deleted the app to see if there's any upgrade, because I know that the app itself is not them, because it's another company doing the app. So sometimes so that is update on their own part, and it's not necessarily Healy specific. So and so I have done that, but I think if it's giving you if it's something that constantly happening, I think you can put a ticket or just ask, hey, this is going on, what do I do? And then hear from them.
And then the other thing is I did get my new the replacement one with the clip and everything, but I put in 2 new clients on the professional, and it doesn't show up on my other ones.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
That's very strange.
Because I just it was a friend, and so they were here, so I put her in and I vibrated her, and then she's really having a hard time, so I was going to give her my loaner.
Okay.
And so I went into the loaner just to make sure, and she's not in there.
So because it's one Are you sure? I mean, I want to
Because
make
all
sure
my
because
other
you
ones, all the ones that I've done,
go went in there.
but not, I've never done one with the new professional before.
Oh, okay.
So you have to go and put them in, manually put them in. But
Wow.
then I don't know.
That I do not know. So
Yes,
that
I
may
think
be a
when-
question.
See,
Or
I
maybe
thought
a question. I mean, I haven't really I really not quite sure. I haven't had opportunity to even the only thing that Julie have done amazing is post it because, like I said, this 3 weeks or even a month has been really crazy, and it's gonna be crazy. So I'm leaving. I'm gonna be gone. On from the 31st. I think 31st to the 6th. I'm gonna be going for a wedding in Hawaii. And yeah, so I'll
then we need to get together so you can make me the host.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Whenever you your time, so I can make you the host, so you can actually have access to those information and be able to work it. At the same time, even for our prayer time, our prayer, I had to give actually just get what I did is that okay, this is what I found out for Zoom. This is what they said. Each person is considered, anybody else other than you who's opening it is considered a new account. And then so you're supposed to pay for it. So the only way, is if I'm gone, is for you to have all the login. So you log in using the same information.
But we have to do it one time with you, because what they're going to do is want to authenticate
It. Yes. Yes,
so
authenticate it, but I'm going to authenticate it in your system. So when you do, then you'll be able to enter. Yes.
Yes.
So let me know. I have until again at the 30. I'm leaving on the 31st. But any day that is usually free, that you want to, I'm okay. So I work too late. The past two, the day before I said I worked till 11 at work. So so I overdid it. So I decided I'm not going to go to work today. Neither will I go tomorrow. I'm going to be there on Sunday. Another long day. But
maybe tomorrow. Okay, maybe tomorrow we can
just text me and say, hey, I'm available. Are you available to do this? And so we can just get it done. Okay. All right.
Sounds
yeah.
So excuse me. So next week, I can't think what the date will be. Will you won't be here next week, probably.
I will be here, and I will be here next week. That's what I'm saying, that this
coming. You will.
Yeah, I'm leaving on the 31st.
Oh yeah, it's the 19th today. 20.
Yeah. So let me.
Oh yeah, 26.